What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the final match in our recent box tournament. We have a Red Zoro versus Black Smoker final match. This is pretty bad matchup for Black Smoker. Zoro tends to go wide on board and just poke, and Black Smoker just doesn't have a lot of counter power usually, and usually wants to save that for the cards on board rather than just face attacks. So we'll see how it plays out. Black Smoker also has its inconsistency issues in that it doesn't have any searchers as of OPO2. So, seeing this, Black Smoker is going to mulligan here. Red Zoro might just have the works because he kept his hand, and the Black Smoker player is just going to basically rely on chance. He does get to go second, which is really good. This is actually one of the few matchups that Red Zoro might actually consider going second instead of first, just to stop Black from having such a good curve. If they get Black Kuzan out on time, it's devastating. Already we have some very interesting moves. We have Sunny-kun coming out and a Vista just to stop Garp from getting a lot of value there. Garp can be a very, very devastating card in this matchup, just eliminating a zero cost threat, and almost all of Zoro's threats are going to be zero cost, so already a pretty big tempo swing. However, that Borsalino is going to stick on board for quite a long time, considering it cannot be KO'd by effects, and usually Zoro kind of relies on effects, Gum Gum Jet Pistol or Vista, just to eliminate. So here you see it actually swinging at the Borsalino before it becomes a problem. Pretty heads up play, but he does miss out on a lot of board development here, which just allows the Black Smoker player to swing into the Vista. Maybe a little bit of overcommitment on Dawn from the Black Smoker player, but this definitely stalls Red Zoro's board development for quite a long time. Bring out another Borsalino for even more of these low blocks. Just very simple, just getting out of those low blocks, knowing that he will have to commit even more Dawn to killing it because he can't Jet Pistol it. You see that Jet Pistol in hand. Nico Robin coming out. This is what makes the characters that can't be KO'd by effects so devastating in this matchup. That's your only counterplay for the Black Smoker player. Because those kind of cards, and here you see a board wipe. If you can play everything on curve and not give Red Zoro the board, this is exactly how you want to play this matchup. This is how you get out of this worst matchup. You just, take your initiative, control the board, make sure that you're keeping tempo, because like most decks in the OPO2 format, Red Zoro relies on the board. It's very board centric. Chooses to go after the Sakazuki and Jet Pistol, also denying Smoker board here. So this is just a very board control heavy matchup. You'll see neither player is below 4 life until just now. Now the Red Zoro player is down at 3 life. Probably wants to get some board development down here, I'm guessing, when he's at 10. Probably won't swing too much this turn, just get a lot of characters down, really build up board, because now we do have that 10 Kuzan down, and that is just Black's win con in most matchups. Once that card is down and it sticks, there is very, very little the opponent can do. The only thing that they can do is hope that they got him down to low enough, but unfortunately he did just lose too much tempo in the early game, so he is going to be fighting an uphill battle, whereas the Black Smoker player is going to have a lot of free 7,000 swings because of all the one costs that are coming down. And as I said, the Red Zoro player does just choose to develop, but this can just be devastating because the Smoker player can just go aggressive, as you see here, and now the Red Zoro player is just going to have to choose between basically ditching all of his cards at hand or going down to 1 life, and he does choose to go down to 1 life here. Seeing a Borsalino here is almost game over. Just the agency that card carries, because you know that you have to swing for at least 6k. It's demanding a 1k, an additional 1k out of each of the characters to avoid that free block, and it's just extremely hard to get any kind of board going here if you're in Red Zoro's spot. At 1 life and facing down that board, he almost has to win on this turn, which means he needs 4 attacks to connect. He only has 5 attackers plus any rush characters they might have in hand, but he does have a blocker, so that already negates one of the attacks, and all the attacks are going to be low to the ground. Black Smoker still has a pretty good amount of cards in hand. Does choose to take some of these attacks too, which is pretty smart because you just know how much counter power that you're working with, and you know that you still have that block open if he decides to go super tall, and so I don't see any unblockable Luffys in hand. Not a very common thing to run in Zoro lists either. Usually you want to have had that agency in the early game, and I think the Black Smoker player could just kind of coast out here. He's tapped out even with the Makino. He could still counter out of that. He does have a Rush Zoro in hand. Has to get rid of a card to play him. Still a blocker on board, can't get rid of it through any effect. It is tapped out, so doesn't have a whole lot. Decides to go for the Gordon and plays it anyway. Probably, yeah, just hoping to bait out the block there, but I don't think it's enough because he only needs 2 attacks to connect out of his 3 attacks. I believe the Zoro player does not have much in hand at this point. Yeah, and yeah, after he takes that first 10k hit, you can just goes for game and easily has it. Yeah, all the agency was won in the early to mid game. The Zoro player definitely committed a little too much to just swinging, and the Black Smoker player had the popping potential, had the Borsalinos, and was just able to continuously clear board. Here's all the new gates coming down, all the alt art new gates coming down. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out.